So I just watched the Kell Brook fight against Bitzier, and I just wanted to do a little post on it. It's a bit quiet in my house. People are sleeping, so I don't want to be talking too loud. So forgive me for being really quiet. I am enthusiastic about Kell Brook and what's coming up next for him. Um, he's fought his last three opponents: Jojo, Dan, Frankie Gavin, and now Bitzier, I thought his name was. But this guy was a mandatory, and he had to fight him. And Kell Brook is an elite level fighter. Let's not make no mistake about that. And he showed his class tonight. I think the IBF rankings are just a bit weird. I mean, this guy doesn't look like a mandatory contender. He looked like he was completely outclassed, and Kell Brook just done a job on him, and he just looked like he was lost, and he just didn't want to be in there as soon as he felt Kell Brook's power. So fair play to Kell Brook, and I look forward to see what's happening next. I mean, we all want to see the Kell Brook versus Amir Khan fight, and we know what's going on. Amir Khan is going to be facing Saul Canelo Alvarez. He's moved up to fight him at Canelo weight. That's a catch weight of 155 pounds. So it leaves Kell Brook out in the cold. And Kell Brook was saying that he wanted to fight GGG, but how serious he was about that, I don't know. That's very unrealistic. And a lot of people were saying that he just wanted to have one over Khan by calling out, Gennady Golovkin. But I think what's difficult for Kell Brook is getting that big fight. He needs that big money fight because in terms of resume, he hasn't fought anybody spectacular. The only person he's really beat anybody of note has been Sean Porter, and that was a very good fight for him. And you would think that that would skyrocket him into the big fights and into the mainstream, but it hasn't really done that. So I think he's itching for the big money fight, and he's dropping all these names. Now I think the next mandatory contender is Errol Spence Jr., and that is a fight that Kell Brook definitely isn't going to take. He's got two voluntary defenses of his title, has Kell Brook, so he's definitely not going to be picking Errol Spence Jr., who is a dangerous fighter and also is relatively unknown. So he's really not going to do anything for Kell Brook by fighting Errol Spence Jr. It'll be a great opportunity for Spence, but it's not going to really do anything for Kell Brook's profile and money. And it's potentially dangerous, so I don't see him going for Errol Spence. He was talking about things like fighting Danny Garcia and Vargas, and I just think that Thurman and Porter, I just don't think those fights are going to happen. If you want me to be honest, I don't think Danny Garcia is available, I think. So, it makes sense for Kell Brook to be calling out Garcia. Maybe he said he wants that green belt, so I think maybe the priority for him is Garcia. And I just don't see Garcia. I don't see Thurman fighting him for the title, the big names in the division. So I think in order for Kell Brook to get a breakthrough, maybe he should fight maybe the fringe contenders. I know that if Timothy Bradley beats Pacquiao, he won't, but I hope he does. He'll fight anyone, and maybe Tim Bradley will step up to the plate and fight somebody like Kell Brook. But even if Kell Brook doesn't fight the Garcias and the Thurmans, even if he was to fight, because the welterweight division is hot, so even if he was to fight someone like the Ghost, even if he was going to fight somebody like Bradley, who are not like the biggest names in the division, but they're kind of there, kind of just to push him up that notch. If Garcia's not going to fight him, if Thurman's not going to fight him, then there are other fighters out there who he could potentially beat, who are decent names and who will just edge him closer to that elite level, because he just doesn't have that exposure. He doesn't, people are not itching to fight Kell Brook, and I think he deserves it. So hopefully, let's see what transpires. I'd like to see him fight Danny Garcia next, or the winner of Bradley versus Pacquiao. I think Kell Brook could beat Bradley, so I think that would be a very good fight for him. If Bradley was to beat Pacquiao, I doubt that's unlikely, and then he was to fight Kell Brook, I think that would be a great fight for Kell Brook. But either way, the welterweight division is red hot. He's got two voluntary defenses. There are fights to be made, and I hope he gets that big summer fight in Sheffield. Let me know your comments and your thoughts, and please subscribe.